All right, so doing a Google Business Profile as a wholesaler is probably one of the most underrated things I think I've seen as far as getting inbound motivated sellers. First of all, it's literally free to get it set up. You might need a couple of tools you might have to pay for, but it's very, very cheap, and you can get motivated sellers consistently day in and day out from it if you do it all correctly. And I'm going to basically show you exactly how to do it, what the most important factors are, why profiles maybe rank above others, because there's a lot of reasons why, and there's a lot of noise about it. And so I really want to clear this up if you're a wholesaler getting a profile set up, just so you understand exactly what you need to know when getting into this. So the first thing you want to do before you actually get a profile set up is create a website. Now, go to my other video where I talk about exactly how to create a website step by step. I like to use Carrot, so if you want to use Carrot down below, I'll link an affiliate link down below if you want to support the channel with that. I'm not sponsored by them at all. I just like them as a company a lot. I think their tech is very, very good, and everything works very, very well with it. So first of all, go ahead and create a website. Watch my website creation video. Get it SEO optimized in the video. I talk through it step by step exactly how to do it. So go ahead and watch that video and set up a website first, because a lot of people don't know this, but with a website, you need to have one linked if you're going to have one ranked, and Google crawls your website very heavily. As you've been noticing maybe in the local SERPs, you'll notice if you look up like sell my house for cash or something like that, you'll notice a lot of your competitors or yourself may also have in the profile when it's ranking in the local pack, it says includes on their website sell house for cash or something like that. And so it's proving that Google literally crawls your website, and it helps you rank very, very well if it's relevant to your profile. So you can't just have a random stupid landing page and expect to get by without it. So that's why I recommend always create a website. Make sure you have your domain set up. Everything's in line, because you're going to need it to actually rank consistently well. So that's the first most important thing that a lot of people look over and don't realize that Google actually crawls your website. But the second thing, once we get that figured out, actually the second and third thing, which is arguably the most important part of your Google Business Profile, is going to be your business name and your business address. Business name, the reason that it's very important is because it goes off of relevancy, and you are going to rank better if you have keywords in your name. Right now, you've seen people do this artificially. You've seen people do this with their company name, where their company name's like Sell My House Fast or something like that, which I've seen before. But at the end of the day, if you have the DBA for your business name, there's no question about it that Google will never suspend you. This is where I would be very careful on what you do with your profile, because I'm sure maybe you've seen your competitors add keywords onto their name or whatever. You're taking a huge risk by doing this, because now when you do that, you put a target on your back to get your profile suspended and removed from Google. And so you want to be very careful when you do that. I would recommend getting a business or an SEO optimized business name and get the DBA for it. And getting a DBA is very simple. Like, this is my Secretary of State. I'm in South Dakota. Now, every state is going to have a different Secretary of State website, but you can literally go in here and register a new DBA in your Secretary of State website, wherever you can file an LLC or anything like that with your state directly. You don't have to pay anybody to do this for you. People are going to try to charge you an upcharge to register a DBA for you. Promise, you can literally go in here. The form takes 10 minutes, and it costs me, at least in my state, at least like $15 or $10 or something like that. And so go get the DBA for your LLC that can be SEO optimized. Now, what I would recommend for a business name, what I like a lot that fits very, very well and it gets the most conversions, is whatever your city name that you're targeting, or city or area that you're targeting, and then just having cash home buyers after it. So for example, if you're located in Dallas, you can do Dallas cash home buyers, right? Or you can do like an area, like my company name is Sioux Empire Home Buyers, just because the Sioux Empire is like our collective metro area here in South Dakota where I'm at. So that's why I named it that. But at the end of the day, if you do something with whatever your location that you do deals in, cash home buyers after it, you're going to have a lot of success. So get it when you have your LLC, you have your website created, get a DBA for your business name to be whatever it is. cash home buyers or something like that of the sort that's SEO optimized, and I promise you'll be just fine. You don't have to worry about too much. You don't have to get too crazy with adding keywords and all this stuff in your name and risk getting suspended like all of your other competitors. It's just not something you want to go down the rabbit hole of. It is the worst. You can get it taken down for months and months on end, and that's losing you not only months of time, hurting your SEO ranking, hurting everything else, and it's just something you don't want to go down. So that's with business name. That's what I'd recommend. Now, the third thing is getting an address. This is also very, very important, the number 2 most important thing. Reason being is because not only does your profile rank off of relevancy with keywords, excuse me, not only does your profile rank off of relevancy with keywords, it also ranks very, very heavily with proximity. So for example, if someone looked up home buyers in Dallas or whatever, proximity is going to play a big factor in this. Obviously, you want to make sure your profile is optimized, which I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. But with that too, you want to make sure that your proximity is close to where those people are searching it up consistently. There's not really a way to know exactly, most people, there's a lot of keywords being searched up in this specific area. There's not really a way to do that. What I would recommend is just doing it where, you can get approved, first of all, as far as getting your profile verified. But you can also do it where people are, maybe the neighborhood is a little bit worse, or wherever you buy deals consistently more, that's where I would recommend putting your address. Now, what we face in this industry, being wholesalers, investors, some of you are licensed realtors, anything like this. In this industry, a lot of us work from home, right? And a lot of us don't have offices, and it's very tough to get a profile verified when you don't have an actual office. And nobody obviously wants to use their own personal home address to get verified, and so this is a very big problem. What I would recommend is you can go into iPostal. Now, this isn't really necessarily recommended, so don't take my. We do this a lot. I will be honest. We use iPostal addresses for a lot of our clients because most people do work from home. It works well. Now, I'm just letting you know with the discretionary advice that it could be very tough to verify this way, and you're going to be swimming a little bit against the current, just getting your profile verified and getting it all figured out. But if you can use iPostal and you want to use a virtual address, this is a great option if you don't want to use your personal home as an address listed live out there on Google. That way, if you're in Dallas or wherever you're trying to get your profile ranked, you can put your address to the place that you consistently want to rank it very, very well. And it's going to just help you a lot with proximity. So that way you can have a good business address, you can have a good business name now at this point, and this is going to be very, very important to understand. Now, the fourth thing is getting a phone number. Obviously, we're going to make sure that this phone number is matched with the same one on our website. Now, if you don't want to use your personal cell phone number, which I honestly don't recommend using your personal cell phone number, I recommend using a different number, because when somebody calls into your website, your profile, or anything like that, you need to know and separate yourself from your personal phone, right? You need to make sure, is this something worth dropping everything for to answer this phone call? And so that's why I recommend Quo. It used to be OpenPhone. They just recently switched over. This is very, very, very cheap option. You can do it, obviously this is the yearly, but monthly, it's $19 a month per user, and you can set up a complete second business line, and it's just an app on your phone, and it has everything. You can text from the number, you can call from the number, it has call recording, it has everything you will literally need for a business phone line, and it goes directly to your personal cell phone, separating everything out. So it's like a business phone line already in your phone, and any call that comes into the business line goes to your phone, and you'll know it's not a regular phone call. You'll know it's from the app, and so you can answer it that way and know, hey, this is a call from Google, so I need to answer this. And it's a very, very, very cheap option to get a local phone number as well, because that also plays a huge factor, is not only making sure that you answer the phone consistently, but making sure that the phone number is actually local. Whatever your competitors are using, and make sure you have a local phone number. That's huge as far as conversions, because that way people are going to actually see that phone number, type it in. For example, my area code's a 605. If you don't have a 605 number around here, the odds of you getting a lead is much less. Now, you might still get a lead with an out-of-state phone number, but it's just simply not going to work as well. So that's what I'd recommend, getting a business, just a simple starter plan here. Get the app and get a phone number for your profile that is local. Now, once you have all three of these things set up, you have your website, these are the four most important steps. And then once you have all these set up, you want to make sure you get your profile verified. There's not really a secret magic pill or a blueprint of exactly how to get your profile verified. Just get it verified somehow, some way, with whatever you're doing, because Google, as we all know, can be a pain with this, and they're cracking down by the day of making this harder for you every single day as each day goes on. So get your profile verified after you figure out these four things, so that way you can make it, you can have all of your ducks in a row. Then you can get verified just much easier when you have all of these things figured out, because when you start changing things, start doing this, you're going to just have to consistently keep verifying your profile and doing all this, and it's just such a pain. So get these four things done first, and then get your profile verified. Okay, so now we are assuming you are verified. Now what we're going to do is just do classic updates. Obviously, we have get verified here, which I'll just kind of erase for the time being, and we'll just kind of keep this in mind. But now we're going to do basic profile updates and photos, products, appointment links, and posting, and we'll kind of talk into everything like this. Because, like I said, it's not like, and what I'm also going to mention is I just thought about this, is we're also going to talk about reviews. And so with all this, basically Google, there's not one specific thing that Google looks at. Your address, website, business name, and phone number is going to be the biggest things that they're going to rank. That's like 95% of how your profile is going to rank. But you still need to make sure that your profile is updated and everything's good, because that's also going to help your ranking quite a bit. So in your profile, simply in here, I would just make sure you have your business name, whatever that DBA is. Make sure business category, because all of our competitors are doing this, and it's real estate consultant. Make sure you are doing this. And as far as description, you want to pull, what I typically like to do is your first paragraph of the website that you put in the profile. That's what I would highly recommend in doing this, because Google, the more relevant you can make your profile to your website that you're actually getting live out there, the better. And so I'd recommend just putting in the paragraph, the top paragraph from your website, and doing this. Opening date, obviously there is a little bit of advantage if you have been in business for longer. Say you opened your LLC, this year, maybe you can, if you like, put on there an opening date for earlier, but just know that if Google tries to suspend you or tries to, double verify you on this, that they might get upset with you and could suspend you for this. So just understand that going into it. Phone number, we talked about that. With chat, do not add anything with chat. I don't like anything to do with this, and it actually can hurt your ranking when you have this set up, so do not do this. Website, we already talked about that. Just make sure you put your regular website domain in there. Social profiles. This is very important, and I talk about it in my SEO video. When you watch that, you want to make sure you have socials for sure when you're doing anything SEO wise. And so definitely add any social profiles that you have in this section, as they just added this, because they used to just crawl it automatically and put it in there, but now you can actually physically add profiles, which is super, super awesome, because it's just going to make you more verified, or more relevant, I guess. And so incredible. But business location, we talked about this. Service area, I typically like to do anything. So like, for example, this one, I just made a dummy profile in Minneapolis. So what I would do is you can do Minneapolis, and then you can do all the suburb areas. So like St. Paul, Minnesota, you can do Eden Prairie, and these are all just suburbs of the area. So you can cover the entire metro area with these selected service areas. It definitely doesn't hurt to have that. So make sure you add all of those. As far as business hours, we need to make sure we are only doing 24 hours, because all of our competitors are doing 24 hours. We're in the type of industry where we need to make sure we are able to be open for 24 hours. I can tell you this, my profile is open 24 hours all the time, and I've never gotten calls in the middle of the night. So don't worry about that too much. But it's a factor of just understanding when you set hours on your profile, it's going to limit you, because when you're closed, Google's naturally going to lift up the businesses that are open 24 hours or open already to the search results. So if they looked up home buyers in Dallas and you were closed, but your competitor is open, they're going to choose your competitor over you. So that's why you want to make sure you're open 24 hours. This is going to be the best one. Special hours, nothing there. You want to just make sure that with all of these, just fill all of them out. Even though it says like yes, no, doesn't, whatever, go in here and make sure that parking, like even go in and answer all of these questions, yes or no. all of them. Answer all the questions below and just get this all filled out. Google loves a profile that is completely filled out to the brim. Okay, so now we've done basic profile updates. Now what we need to understand also is we need to go in and add photos, right? You need to go in and add a bunch of photos. You can't have a profile fully optimized with a good name and good stuff. You need to make sure you have a ton of photos in here, as many as you can. Photos, videos, anything. It is going to help you significantly, especially if these photos were taken in your local area. So for example, in Sioux Falls, if these photos were taken in Sioux Falls, that is where that's going to give you a huge benefit. Now, there's people who are out there geotagging photos. So before you put in photos, you can just look up geotag photos for geotag photos, and you can go in here and geotag photos online, and you can put in, when you put in photos on your profile, you can geotag them to make sure they were taken in your local city area. And so this is going to help you quite a bit, but I would add as many photos and as many videos as you possibly can, especially the ones that are on your website. The ones that are on your website need to be absolutely required, okay? You need to understand that. So we've talked about photos. Get as many as you can in there, especially the ones on your website. Basically, the rest of it is pretty simple. You can go ahead and post products in here. So I know you can edit products. You can click Get Started. And what you could do is you could say Get a Free Cash Offer, and you could link it to, you can add a photo in here, and then you can put the product landing page as your Get a Cash Offer page on your website. So that way you're linking to all of your different pages on your website. This is also going to help you. So make sure you click Get Something to your Contact Us page, your Get a Cash Offer page, your How It Works page, right? All of these, you can use the products to do this. And also what I like to do is if you have supporting content or blog posts, you can also put in here like sell a house in foreclosure, right? You can also do this. You can also do this and make sure you have sell a house in foreclosure. And you can add in your landing page to a blog post that talks about selling your house in foreclosure. So you can add as many products as you want. Just be careful with this. I wouldn't add like 10 products every single day. I would just do one a week and just consistently add those in there and just make sure all those edits are in there. Your bookings in here. You can get verified to set up bookings, and you can just put your URL in there. Definitely does not hurt to do this. Now, the last two things are Q&A. Q&A, you can go in here and you can add questions that maybe somebody would ask, right? Like, do you guys charge closing costs or anything like that? And you can answer back. Just be careful. Don't do a bunch of questions per day. It could cause some issues, but you can ask the questions that some typical ones would ask. Definitely doesn't hurt to have. And services, you can go in here, and what I would recommend is honestly just doing all of these. Like, I would just check all of these. And then what you can do is if you get too crazy down the road, which I would be careful with doing, you can be like cash home buyers, right? Or you can add services like we buy houses or something like that. You can add keywords in your custom service, which is going to give you a benefit. So it's something to keep in mind as well when you're doing services. But like I said, with all of these edits that you can make in Google Business Profiles, you need to be careful when you do this, because when you do this, it can trigger Google to be like, okay, there's something up here. So what I'd recommend is only make a few edits each day, every day, for consistently longer, because if you try to make all the edits in one day and try to put 10 questions, add 10 products, put 100 photos in here, put a bunch of services in here, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's just going to cause so many problems, and Google's going to see a huge red flag with that. So just take little by little each day and make sure you do that. So we did that. Now the second to last thing I'm going to talk about here is posting. So posting on your profile is always nice to do. You don't necessarily need to get crazy with this. I mean, you don't need to post every single day. I would just post maybe once a week. I mean, it's nice if you run Facebook ads or you do anything else for your business anyways. It's nice to have a Facebook profile on Instagram, a LinkedIn, anything like that to post for your company anyways. And it's going to increase your conversions on Facebook ads or anything else on those anyways. And so if you're posting on that, why not just post on your profile as well? It definitely doesn't hurt. It's not going to, make a huge ranking factor necessarily, but it's definitely not going to hurt by any means. And so go ahead and just post like once or twice a week, call it a day. But if your competitors, all of them are posting every day, I mean, it definitely wouldn't hurt to post every day if all of your competitors are also doing that. And so Last thing we're going to talk about, which is reviews, which is probably the most overhyped thing that people talk about when it comes to Google Business Profiles. So let me tell you this about reviews. Most people, you talk to anybody who really doesn't know much about ranking any profiles or ranking your Google presence at all, and they're going to just tell you, yep, you just need a lot of reviews, man. You just need all that, and it's just simply not true. Now, you do need reviews, but it's one piece of the pie, right? It's simply one piece of the pie. The rest of all this stuff is going to matter, but obviously you still need reviews, but it's just one piece of the pie getting ranked, so it's not end-all be-all. If you have 10 reviews and your competitors have 70 reviews, you can still rank, right? You can still rank in the local pack even with very little reviews if your profile is more optimized than theirs. And so that's something to keep in mind. But with reviews, what I would recommend is I recommend this to all of my clients that I work with is get at least 1 to 2 reviews every single week for as long as you can handle it, right? Every single week. Just make it a weekly habit to get 1 to 2 reviews. And it could be from, of course, your best option is going to be from people you actually did deals with, but you could also do reviews from people who maybe work at the title company, people you've done deals with, your cash buyers, colleagues of any sort in the industry of anything can give you a review on Google. And typically, it's going to give you a huge ranking benefit if you give a review that talks about like keywords, like for example, Dawson helped me sell my house for cash and it was super easy. If you can have the people and you're cool with them who are giving you a review to use keywords in their review, it's also going to give you a huge benefit. That's a massive, massive, massive part. But what I would recommend is getting reviews. Don't go out there and be dumb and buy reviews and all this whatever. Don't do that. I would just recommend getting good reviews from people you do business with, or even better, motivated sellers that you've done deals with, and they're able to use keywords in your reviews. But just get 1 to 2 reviews every single week for good. Don't stop doing it, and just get 1 to 2 reviews. It's very simple. You just send that link to a person that you're close with, you've done business with, the motivated seller that you did a deal, whatever. 1 to 2 a week. Promise you over time, over the course of a year, you're going to have 50 plus reviews, right? If you do it correctly. And so keep this in mind, and then it stacks up over time. Just get a review or 2 every single week. That's just what you need to do. But as far as everything else with a Google Business Profile, you do all of these things properly, I promise, you will have a great success if you structure everything exactly the way I just said with your business profile. Just get that thing optimized as good as you can. Get it optimized as close as you can to your website, and make sure that everything I told you as far as address, phone number, business name, everything with proximity, that you do correctly, and you will have success doing this. Now, like I said, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. But I appreciate you guys watching.